Shayod Das of class 11 from South Point High School, and today I am going to show you how an IoT device can be hacked. For this example, I am going to show you how to hack an IP CCTV camera that is present in front of you. Now let us begin. Firstly, what is IoT? An IoT is a device that we use in our daily life, but the thing is that we can control it and access it with the use of the internet. But the next question comes is that whether IoT is at all safe or not. No, IoT is not safe. According to the latest research, it is found that many vulnerabilities are found in the embedded Linux system that these IoT devices uses. Now I will show you how an IP CCTV camera can be hacked. Here we are scanning the network we are connected to. You can see the second IP address 192.168.1.101. It is the IP address of my camera. So let us scan this camera first. Let's wait for a few seconds. Here you can see that 3 ports are open with the services running HTTP, RTSP and RTMP. So firstly we would try to extract the username and the password using the brute force form of attack. In this form of attack, what the software does is it accesses the login page and then it tries various combinations of letters to guess the password actually. Okay, let us begin the process. You can see here that the password is found. It is info2k18. Let us see whether this is correct or not. See, we have successfully logged into the camera page. We can now easily access the camera and can change its direction, and this method can be used by hackers to do physical robbery to your place, to your shop, to banks and many other places where you set up these type of cameras. Now I will show you how to do a similar form of attack, that is it will bring out the username and password, that too with the use of MITM attack. what I did right now is that I forwarded my IP, and that will allow me to spoof my IP address so that I can convince the server, which is in this case the camera, and the client, that is my mobile, that I am the server, and to the server that I am the client. That is, my computer will be placed in between of the server and the client. The process which you can see on the screen, what it is actually doing, it is doing the job to place my computer in between the server and the client. So now we will sniff the traffic in between the server and the client. Okay, the process has become a bit slow. See, here you can see that I have successfully retrieved the username and the password of the login page, and thus using this I can log in again into the camera, change its direction, format its directory, and do many other things to my benefit. Now let me say something about the preventive measures that can be done to prevent this MITM attack. What you can do is that don't keep an active internet connection on the router to which you have connected the IP camera. That will prevent at least remote access of the camera. And the brute force attack, probably the only best way to protect your camera from a brute force attack is to keep a very strong password of at least 13 to 15 characters, which is alphanumeric as well. I hope you liked the session. Thank you. ক্র্যাশ করে দিয়েছিল বলছি আমার পুরো প্রেজেন্টেশনটা উড়ে গেছে কি পুরো প্রেজেন্টেশনটা উড়ে গেছিল আমার
Session over your demonstration. We have Neil Chatterjee from St. Xavier's Borduman taking over, and I'm sure you'd love to applaud him.
I'm a student of class 11. So, welcome to my presentation. So, when I first saw the topic of this year's INFOCOM, when digital becomes human, a thought struck to me that how much progress we have made in this field over the last few years, last couple of years. You know, fields like machine learning, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. These are the three things that I'm going to cover today. We saw a lot of hacking, so as we are running short of time, I'm not getting that much into the hacking part. I'll just show you a behind the scenes of how these things actually work. So, as we know that we had the Renaissance, and then we had the first industrial revolution, and after that we had the era of the internet, which we are living in right now. These were like the mega revolutions that changed the world and are now part of history books. So we are also part of a revolution that is happening right now, and that is the AI machine learning revolution. And that is also like one of can be compared to one of these revolutions. So I'm sure all of us have Google Assistant and Alexa and Siri, things like that on our phones, and we also use devices like Google Home, Philips Hue, and these IoT devices. These are all becoming part of our daily lives. And we have also seen movies like Ex Machina and Terminator, and of course Iron Man's Jarvis, which portray AI as something which can be disruptive or destructive. I would like to say that it's not entirely true. We are a long way from the time when AI will be able to think and have emotions. But AI is progressing very fast, and in a few years of time, we will be completely able to replace like the boring, repetitive tasks that we don't like doing, and AI will do it for us. So that's the positive side of AI that I like to look into. So this is a Raspberry Pi. This is what I'm using for my model here. I'll just show you how I have integrated Google Assistant. So this is just, if you see carefully, this is a credit card sized computer. It's very underpowered. It has 1 GB of RAM. It's like 1/4 the power of modern day smartphones. But what separates it from other devices like this is that it can run Linux. To me, that means that I can do anything with it. And so here I have tried to run Google Assistant from the terminal of the Raspberry Pi. Here we are logging into the Raspberry Pi via VNC. I have it set up right here. So we're just going to start the terminal, and you can see Google Assistant running on this Linux distribution. This is just a Python code, and we are using Google's latest libraries. It will take some time to set up. Okay, so it has set up, and let me see if I can show you. Here it is. I have an LED, and here I have a speaker. So if I say, okay Google, what is today's weather?
In Calcutta tonight, it's predicted to be 63 and clear. It's currently 69 with haze.
As you can see, that's Google Assistant running on my Linux terminal. Okay Google, count from 1 to 10.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so what you just saw, that is not something very different from what you have on your phones, but what we are going to see next, that is, I'll run my own program using Google Assistant. This is also just a very small Python code that I've written, and I can use this to control my LED light right here. Turn on LED light. Turn on the light. It should turn on. As you can see, it turned on. Turn off the light. Blink the light. So this is Google Assistant running a Python program that I wrote. Shut down. Or the command was goodbye. So that's what you saw. That's Google Assistant running on Raspberry Pi. Let me just do a quick change of SD cards, because the next demo that I have, that's running on a separate SD card. The next demo that I'll be showing is machine learning. Let me just pull up the slide. So we already talked a lot about the security risks. As we are low on time, I won't get into that today. Next, we are going to talk about using TensorFlow, that is Google's open source machine learning network. So as the Pi boots up, let's talk a bit about TensorFlow, Google's open source machine learning framework. So this is what Google uses for their machine learning applications, and they have made it open source for other developers to use. TensorFlow is trained via something called this ImageNet. It's made by some students at Stanford. It's a very huge project now. So what basically does is it classifies all the images on the internet, and then this is used to train the TensorFlow machine learning model. Let's see if we have the system ready by now. Let's try to log into our VNC. It's not yet ready. I think there are a lot of Wi-Fi networks running here. That's why it's having trouble connecting to my phone hotspot, because it does not usually take this much time. We'll try this one more time. If it does not work, then I'll just go over what I was trying to do. We'll try to restart this. Nope. It seems like it has not connected to the Wi-Fi yet. So I'll just go over what I would have done if it was working properly. What I had here, I had this camera, right here, and I would be using TensorFlow, and there would be a camera running live on the screen, and any objects that were placed in the front, it would identify it automatically. Like if there was a person, it would say it was a person, it was a laptop, and 98% of the times it will be accurate. That's the accuracy right now. And what we have to look at here is that this is a very underpowered computer, and this is like a myth that machine learning takes up a lot of computing power. So we are not doing that here. This is, as I said, even less powered than your phone. We just connect to Google's cloud servers, and that's where we use the computing power. We'll just see if this works once again. Okay, it does. I'll just take 2 more minutes. If this initializes, I'll just show you just a brief look at how this thing works. It's very slow, but it still works. So while this initializes, let's go over the risks that we have in machine learning. 2 minutes. So this is an example of AI and machine learning used in INFOSEC. There is a program called Sandbox, which uses AI to detect malware. So security risks, the main security risks is that when we are training a machine learning model, it takes up a lot of data, and for a large corporate firm, that data can be worth billions. So if not used properly, that data can be hacked easily. Okay. It's not initializing, so we have to close this. I'm sorry, but this demo would have been interesting. I don't know why it's taking so much of time. Thank you. I hope you like this presentation.
Thank you so much. And I would request Neil to kindly stay back. And can I please call upon Shubhro yet again? Requesting Mr. Abdul Rafi, the Chief Manager, IT Infrastructure and CISO, to kindly step up on the stage to present a memento to both these gentlemen over here. And a round of applause, all of you. Well, thank you so much.